Hello, everyone. My name is Sherry, and I am an online speech-language pathologist and ESL teacher. I am excited to bring this event to you today as there have been a lot of questions, right? Everyone is wanting to know what is going on. What can I do next? This information is accurate as of today, Friday. Let's see, Friday. What is today's date? Friday, August 6th. So make sure that if you're watching this, that it is current because these things will change quickly over time. But I have a lot of good information to share with you. So what can you do now as maybe your platform has already closed down or you know that it is going to close down over the next few months? So there are different options. You can, of course, continue to work where you're at, and I plan on doing that. I am a teacher at ZebraEnglish. I am going to continue to see my students there as long as I can. If your platform has already closed down or you have decided to leave because you want to make sure that you are starting new contracts, trying to find new business, new students, then that's totally understandable. There are some small language schools. If you really want to work in China, there are some small language schools who are still working. And I have been speaking with several individuals within China about the small language schools to see, are those schools going to go away as well? And what I'm hearing is no, those schools are probably going to continue because the government is just not going to focus on them because they are so small. So take it or leave it. It may be a bit risky if they are closed down. However, I do work for one small language school, and I've been assured by the owner that if for some reason the government said that she had to shut down, that she would consider giving the students to the teachers and continuing to work, and then we can return her fee for finding the students for us. Hey, Natalie, nice to see you. Natalie is one of my students. Great to see you here. So besides the small language schools, if you really just want to break away and be your own individual teacher, have your own business, then that is perfect. That is wonderful. So I have all the ins and outs of what I've done as I've been building my private teaching business over the last 5 years, really. I've really delved into it more so in the last year as it seemed that there were some changes happening. I wanted to have a plan B, C, D, and E. So let's get started. First of all, why do we want to continue to see students in China? There are so many other places in the world, right? There are other markets. You can go into the Latin American market. You can go into Eastern Europe. You could see students maybe in the Middle East. I'm doing all those things. So I would suggest that you diversify into different countries. However, if you really identify with the Chinese culture and you just really love your current students that you want to see and you want to continue to see them, I totally understand that. And I am doing that. So for that reason, I wanted to give you just tips, things that I've found helpful, things that I have learned from working with business coaches. And that's the first thing that I want to suggest to you. Find a business coach. I know this sounds crazy because you're thinking I can't afford one, but really just do it. Find a business coach, guys. A business coach is going to really help you see things from all the different angles and then help you maybe put things to the side that aren't worth your time. Or they might help you come up with different ideas that are going to be even better. I met with my business coach last week again, on Thursday. Well, I guess it was yesterday. I met with her last week and then again yesterday. And she brought up some really cool ideas I hadn't even begun to think of. And Melissa, to answer your question, I'm not going to tell you what the smaller schools are because they're not really hiring. But the way you find them is you look on Facebook. You look on Facebook all the time, and occasionally they will make a post. So Jody Bryant is an online ESL teacher. She's the one that got me into this small school, and there are going to be a lot more of these small schools popping up. There are several in Hong Kong. I know that it seems kind of pointless to be on Facebook all the time, right? And like scrolling through, but there are great opportunities that are posted on different pages on Facebook. So if you are not a member of some of the Facebook groups that are for online tutors or teachers, search those out and join them. Also, we have Teacher Lexi. I was on her YouTube yesterday. She has a great Facebook group that has people all the time posting, I found this lead. I found this lead. Everyone's working together, but I still feel that a business coach is really helpful because, like I said, they really focus in the business part. And then my business coach is Min Chi Chu, and I will, her website is Improve Your Bookings. So she was on my YouTube before. So check out Minchi's site, Improve Your Bookings. I don't get anything from referring anyone to her. I have no monetary gain from this. I'm just telling you because she is an amazing person. She understands the industry and she is Chinese. So she's able to give me that cultural input. And when I spoke to her yesterday, she said, the market is there. She's been speaking with cultural influencers on social media. So influencers on social media who are pretty wealthy women. And they are saying that these parents are just scrambling. The small language school that I work for, I will post when we are, because she's going to start looking for more teachers soon. So follow my Facebook page. Currently, this is my Facebook page, which is, let's see here. I'll share it with you here. This is my Facebook page, ZebraEnglish Newbies. It probably won't be called that much longer, but if you follow my Facebook page, I will also post updates that I learn as I talk with different business people within China. I'm also working with a startup in Hong Kong, and I'm kind of consulting for them, I guess you would say. And they also will possibly be starting to open up looking for more teachers. So follow there and just look. Indeed also has things, but do your due diligence. Check out these leads to make sure that they are legitimate, because there are a lot of places that they promise everything and they don't deliver. So also the other thing I wanted to mention to you is, besides looking on Facebook, consider the small language schools and look also at the startups. Search through Facebook for those smaller startup companies, the ones that maybe will be hiring 3, 4, 5. It's great to get in on that ground level because it can offer you some great opportunities. That's what Zebra English did for me, and I know that it's not going to continue, but it was a great experience while I was there. I learned so much, and it opened doors for other opportunities. So I like to think of what is happening now in the Chinese market is it is forcing us to expand ourselves and to look, and I prefer to look at it as an opportunity for growth. So it's scary, but we need to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. So yes, Melissa, she is amazing. Thank you so much for your comment. I really appreciate it. I have been, you're welcome, Miranda. I have been fielding phone calls. I haven't been sleeping because I've been so concerned about the students and all the teachers on the different platforms. It's just been so emotionally draining. And I'm thinking, what can I do? What can I do? And this is my next step. This is my next thing to tell you. You're like, how can I find students? How can I build my business? What you want to do is you want to move forward with thinking about providing service to others. So let's talk about what that means. So let's move forward with thinking about providing service to others. Instead of thinking about, I need students, I need to get clients, think about how you can serve others. And one way that I've done that, and the way that I have all this information I'm sharing with you, is I've been on Facebook groups. I respond to people. I read things from different people. It has helped me learn and research and grow. And I have spent a little money along the way. That's my business coach. And it's not very much. She can teach you, Min Chi, again, from improveyourbookings.com. She can teach you how to use WeChat. She has a course on how to use WeChat so that you can effectively market to Chinese parents. She looked at my WeChat and she said, Sherry, I like your posts, but your parents aren't going to know. They can't understand Chinese, and you need to go about this a different way. So we haven't yet met on WeChat because she had other things that she felt were more important for me. But that's one other question we have. How do you market? If you have not gotten a WeChat yet, Min Chi, and I shared this on my Facebook page, get WeChat for sure. WeChat is, as you know, huge in social media, and it's a great way to get into contact with your current students on your platforms. My current students that I see privately, this is what happened. This is the story. I had one of them that I was seeing on Zebra English, and mom put her email in the feedback to me. And I was like, that's interesting. The next week, she said to me, we're not going to renew our package. Mom is an English teacher in a Chinese school. She teaches like middle school, 5th, 6th grade. And so I emailed her. I was like, I'm taking a chance. I emailed her. And guess what? She was the first private student that I saw in China. I have students from other places in the world, but she was my first private parent that I saw. And she opened the door for many other students that I still currently see. I've been seeing them for over a year. We encountered hurdles with payment. How do we do payment? The two of us worked together and we figured it out. Now they pay me via PayPal. Mom figured it out. The first couple of payments were from a wire transfer, and she had to pay fees on her end. I had to pay fees on my end. It wasn't a financially sound situation for either one of us, but PayPal has been. So PayPal is definitely one way that you can do your payment. Other ways you can engage with your parents is on DingTalk. DingTalk is another platform that you can use. And I don't personally use DingTalk, but I use WeChat. And then also, if you want to go for students that are in Thailand, Line is another platform that is used, Line. And I've had that on my phone. And then finally, of course, we also have the WhatsApp. WhatsApp isn't something that you're going to work and use in China so much, but it's huge everywhere else in the world. WhatsApp is one of the largest texting service that you can use internationally. I use WhatsApp for my school in South America that I am part owner in, and then I also use it with the startup in Hong Kong. It is a great way, and I use it for my students that are in Qatar. So I see students in the Middle East as well. So it's a great way to really have that connection with students in other ways, and you're not getting messages directly to your cell phone, but it is linked with your cell phone. You do use your cell phone number. So Facebook is actually who they bought WhatsApp from a man or a young guy. He developed, let me think. He applied to Facebook. He was not hired. He's like, I'm going to do this myself. And he developed WhatsApp. And then Facebook turned around and bought it from him. And he turned into, I'm not sure how many millions that he got from it, or a billion or whatever, but he received huge payment for just going forward and doing it on his own. So that's what this is all about. You guys can do this. You're going to encounter roadblocks, but how you can work through that is surrounding yourself with a community of other like-minded individuals who will support you. And I find the ESL community in general at Zebra English has been fantastic. Lexi's group, Diversified, is amazing. After the live, I will put that in the comments. So if you're not on that group, you should join. So let's get down to what is really difficult which is payment. How are we going to get paid? That is right. That is so difficult. So I have several options for you today. And then at the end, I'm going to talk about how you can get your students right now to start coming to you after they leave their platforms. So besides getting a business coach, I wanted to bring up the point that policy can regulate supply, but it cannot regulate demand. So currently the government is going to really shut off the ability for platforms to use foreign teachers, but the demand is still going to be there. Parents in China are still going to want to utilize us. So there are a few different ways that you can utilize payment. The first thing is, excuse me, let me get my right one. So Daniel is someone, he used to work at Facebook, I believe, and now he has a Facebook group that is, and I'll put that in the chat too. It's like all things VIP Kid China, something like that. Anyway, he runs this group, and he also has a business where he sells things. And if people in the United States and other places buy it, then you get reimbursed. It's kind of through Amazon. But he also does translation for people. So his Facebook group is great for that. If you need something translated, he'll do that for you. He also processes payments. And I've been following him for quite a while. I know you guys are like, oh, this makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm giving someone money that I don't really know. Well, he's not going to ever be able to get money out of your account. But what he does is he collects money from parents via WeChat, and then he sends the money to you via PayPal. And many people use his services all of the time and have done so for quite some time. So is there risk? Yes, there's always risk when there's a middleman involved, but this is a good option that doesn't require you to have a website. If you don't want to develop a website that is enabled for payment, then this is an option. This is his service fee. So it is $5. Oh goodness, let me change this a bit because this is a little hard to see. Let's see if I can change my feed a little bit. Nope, it's not working. Okay, so the service fee is $5. And so there is a 1% charge also, the total amount per the transaction. So don't forget, you also have those PayPal fees. So it can get a bit hefty. But what you can do is parents are often willing to absorb this cost, and you can include that in the price of your that you do. So let's just see. Oh, look at what my son said. This is my son. He needs help with spelling, but that was very sweet of him. Thank you, Pasha. So this is a great question. Melissa wants to know, will parents get in trouble for us tutoring privately? Worried about that. I asked Minchi that question as well, and she said no. She said the government doesn't have the time or inclination to want to go after individual parents. I do understand that. And I also would ask your parents, you know, if they are concerned about that, or if this could be a concern. But according to Minchi, this is not a concern. And she said that they can't regulate them buying a service from another country. And the law is talking about the big businesses. And she said that it just, there's gray area there. And she did say that you could possibly refer to yourself as a coach and not as a tutor. So that is what she said. But on the other hand, she said she would not, and I have to use my props, she would not put all of your eggs in one basket. She said that if you decide that you're going to take your students from platforms and teach them privately, that you should only make it be about 30 to 50% of your total business. So that if for some reason the government comes in and shuts down the PayPal or shuts down other ways, or, you know, starts telling parents we're going to regulate private tutoring too, then you have other options. And thank you so much, Melissa, for your comments. That is so kind of you. So let's say that you don't feel comfortable, you know, with the option with Daniel, and you still don't want to, you know, use a website. There is another option for you, and I want to share that with you. That is, let's see here. I thought I typed it out, but I did not. Oh, I'm going to share it here on my screen. So let me share it with you. So we are going to take a look at another option, which is My Teacher Shop. So myteachershop.com is another website that accepts Alipay and WeChat Pay from your private students in China. So this is a payment solution for you. And so here are the fees. They are 5 to 6% total per transaction. So if you get $100, your package that you sell to your parents is $100, then you will receive $94. And that $6 fee is what goes to pay towards Stripe and Transferwise. So he uses Stripe as the processor and then Transferwise as the entity that sends the money to you. And you actually get kind of like a landing page that is visible in China. It's a payment page. And the website has the host domain in Hong Kong. So it is designed that it will get through the firewall of China. And so this is the parents, you just give them the link. They can go to that link, that website, and they can pay you. So it is pretty simple. I do think that it is a really good option. So let's see here. What else did I have to share with you guys? Thanks again, Melissa, for being here and for participating. So I did want to share another option with you. And that is, let's say that you want to do this and you don't want to incur these fees from other places. So what you can do is you can actually develop a website. And I know that's scary, right? But you can pay someone who specializes in this exact thing, tutors and websites in China, that will integrate Stripe into a basic website to take those payments from Alipay and WeChat Pay. So most parents in China want to pay through WeChat. They just do. And that is what they all use. It's like our Facebook. And you don't need a Chinese bank account to do this if you integrate it into your website, because Stripe will convert those payments to your local currency and then pay them out to you, which I see I did not add the U. Now, this information comes from, it pays it to your U.S. local bank account. This information comes from Crystal Clear ESL. So thank you to you, Crystal. She is an online ESL teacher who provides materials as well. And she is always in Facebook groups providing support to you, the teachers. So you can check, I took that post from a feed today on Facebook. This is something that she has found has been helpful. So again, to reiterate, there are many different ways that you can receive payments. So then you might say, Sherry, what do you do? How do you get this to work? This is what I do, guys. I use PayPal. It does not work for everyone in China, but my parents found a way to work. And so my one lead parent, she will take all the payments from everyone that she found for me, and then she sends the payments to me. Okay. So this is what I do, is I recommend that you, let me get my next talking point here for you guys. So I recommend that you sell things in packages. So I apologize. I'm trying to read the comments here. Yes. So consider selling packages of lessons so the frequency of the payments are limited. That way you're not receiving that fee from PayPal, again, which is, about 4.4%. And most parents are used to following this type of system. They're used to buying packages for 6 months, for a year. And again, a lot of them are used to paying 20, 25, closer to 25 in my experience, dollars per lesson. Now, when they buy the bigger packages at the platforms, that's when the cost per lesson does go down a bit. So that is a good measuring stick for you to determine on how much you want to charge. And also, that pretty much comes into alignment with, you can still make what you're making on your platform or a bit more, and the parents would still be willing to pay that because they will feel like it is not too much. I have heard, and I haven't validated this, but I have heard that there are private tutors within China that are making $100 a lesson in person, and sometimes more. And so it is a pretty valuable service that we're providing. And I'm not telling you to go charge parents $100 a lesson. That is the fear of many parents, is that the market will get such that parents will have to pay those kinds of fees in order to access quality online English lessons. So I think that kind of covered everything. I do see that Joshua Reese, whose website we went to look at, he just sent me another message. So again, his website is myteacher.com, myteachershop.com. Let me just make sure that he didn't say anything. Yes, so he can set up a personal payment page for each teacher who wants one. And he actually gave us an example of his YouTube. So I will type this for you guys. I will share that with you so you can, and I'll put it in the comments. So if you want to check out the YouTube that explains your personal payment page, I really kind of like that idea. And if I decide to grow my business within China, I may actually move to that just for simple convenience, right? Because for me, the way I do things now is I have to keep track of all of the payments and like how many lessons, and then I just send them a message on WeChat. We're going to have our last lesson coming up soon. Payment will be due. And then I send them an invoice on PayPal. If you set it up through something like this, it's a lot easier. You can just tell them that they need to pay. You can also do things like TutorBird. TutorBird.com is a service that a lot of people like to use that helps you track your lessons. You can write your notes in there. And it's just one way to digitally organize everything. I also was on a Facebook group today that looks pretty promising. They don't currently have the ability to process payments now, but they're going to get there. And that page is called, let me just type it in here. One moment, I apologize. And they integrate Stripe as well in things. I will put that in the comments since I'm not finding it right now. Yeah, I'll put that in the comments. So there's another option that is working on getting that payment from China. So lots of different ways. You guys, I hope this was helpful. The payment issue tends to be one that is the most concerning. Check in next. I'm going to do a video on curriculum. How do we find curriculum? Again, it's not that bad. Once you do it and you find what works for you, it works really well. I have very little prep with my curriculum because I primarily do more conversational type of lessons. I also have some reading as well. So stay tuned for how to do curriculum. Okay. All right, guys, you are amazing. I really appreciate it. And guys, I want to give you these last few words, and it looks like this. I'm going to use my TPR. We can do this. Okay, we can do this. All right, guys, have a great weekend and happy teaching. Bye.